So, consider this. There's a movement here that's all about empowering people of African descent across the globe, empowering especially African Americans with the capital, land, and systems they need to self-determine their future.
Absolutely. And it's not just about like social empowerment, but also creating a sovereign, economically powerful black-led territory or state, revitalizing something existing, sort of like Liberia, or even creating a brand new
Yup, exactly.
autonomous zone.
Right. And at its core, it's also about reclaiming control over cultural, political, and economic narratives that have been, long manipulated under colonial and white supremacist
Exactly.
frameworks.
So let's break that down. Building multi-generational infrastructure, legal, military, educational, financial, to ensure long-term stability and prosperity.
Definitely. It's like laying down the very foundation for a future that truly respects self-determination. And what's really fascinating is that this movement rejects integration as assimilation. Instead, it values separation as an act of self-respect and a deliberate redesign of our current systems.
Yeah, it flips the narrative entirely, right? Now, shifting gears a bit, the naming strategy is equally compelling. They really want a name that stands up to ridicule or any cultural dismissal.
Yup, exactly. Names that are formal, credible, and visionary, with no slang or anything that sounds too impulsive. Think about names like the Sovereign Initiative, or Black Autonomy Project, or even Diaspora Union Charter. These, they immediately signal purpose and, a serious commitment to change.
They carry a lot of weight for sure. And then there are options with deep cultural and historic resonance, like the Mansa Accord or Ubuntu Horizon, names that bridge historical struggle with today's calls for dignity.
Yeah, it's like connecting past values with future aspirations in a really natural way. There's also a neat technocratic and diplomatic angle with names like Project Lumumba or the 2063 Project and United Diaspora Federation. These bring in that global, forward looking aspect.
Right, though I might say that sometimes including numbers like 2063 might seem a tad impersonal compared to the culturally resonant ones. True, and that's a fair point. It could alienate some who are looking for an emotional connection, but it might also signal precision and commitment in the diplomatic arena.
Exactly, it's that balance, sort of a blend of legacy and pragmatic strategy. And then we have names framed around protection and legacy, like Pillars of Tomorrow or Citadel 13. These emphasize long term security and stability, like building a fortress that spans generations.
I love that imagery, it's strong and enduring. Overall, all these concepts come together to form a movement that's not only about reclaiming identity, but also about creating a robust, self sustaining system.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach, merging political, cultural, and infrastructural visions. Ultimately, this movement is all about self determination, reclaiming a narrative, and designing a future where every generation can thrive independently and collectively.
Absolutely, a genuinely transformative vision. It really captures the essence of empowering communities while strategizing a credible, sustainable future. A real blend of pragmatic planning and cultural renaissance.
Yeah, it's like a roadmap to reclaiming power and legacy. And that's what makes it so compelling. A call for change, built on history and aiming for a triumphant future for people of African descent worldwide.
Right on, exactly.